How y'all doing? Good. So, for the next 90 seconds, you're going to learn how not to gain the audience's respect and admiration. I probably shouldn't even be giving this. I'm not a JavaScript developer. You can barely call me a programmer. But I have spent 8 years or so working with lots of different teams across lots of different technologies and lots of different programming language, and I have come to believe one thing, and that is automated self-verifying tests will save you every time, and it's absolutely worth the effort to build them. I particularly enjoy writing them first, but you don't have to. You can write tests after the fact and it'll still work out just fine. So, you know, when these guys called for stuff, I'm always up for talking about testing. So what I want to talk to you today about is test-driven development in JavaScript with a couple of fancy tools. How many of you JavaScript folks write automated self-verifying tests for your software? Excellent, okay. Thank you. So this might be a retread for those of you that do. Sorry about that. The other thing is when I started working on this last night, like any good developer would, it became very clear that I was not going to have enough time to be completely prepared. So I'm just going to go over the bits.
We'll do it live.
Thanks. And I just moved into this new Mac, and I don't have the little display thing that'll let me mirror my display, so I'll get there. No, it's my problem. It's not. Mirror displays. Yay! Look at that. Okay, so, and we, guess what, the other thing is, there's no network connection? Oh, crap. Or, maybe I don't have it yet. Okay, so, how many of you have heard of Jasmine as a testing tool? Okay, but you've all heard of it, but you're not using it. Why is that? So Jasmine is one of many tools that exist for test-driven development. I think it's one of the better ones myself. And the cool thing about it is...
This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I know. Just awesome. I need to turn on wireless. Oh, it's on. Is my time up yet? Am I done? Here we go. I'm sure it'll be fine. We should have done this before, shouldn't we?
Yes. Well, actually, I did it for everyone else.
Yeah. Sorry. It's very secure. Success.
Oh, you hit the gun.
Thanks. Okay, let's try again. So the cool thing about Jasmine is that it's sort of BDD style. So for those of you that don't know, the sort of typical X unit, create a test and assert equals this and assert true that. It's different than what these guys do. So this is a spec, and with BDD stands for behavior-driven development. Some people call it TDD with better marketing. Essentially, you're trying to describe the behavior of the system from the outside, like how it should appear to behave, not necessarily the internals of it. I can go either way on TDD versus BDD, but the cool thing is this whole scope can be nested. So you can set up a large context that describes like the general way the system should behave, and then inside of that a specialized variant, and inside that a specialized variant. So it's a lot more fluent when you're trying to describe how different parts of your system changing would affect the outcomes, the behaviors. So, and now I've got a network. Great. So what I wanted to do, sure. What I wanted to do was get to their I wanted to walk you through just a little bit. This is what I wanted to walk you through. Well, that just looks awesome. Okay, so that looks.
I'll open up one.
Oh, you're awesome. Thanks. Can you read that on the right? Yes. Okay. So you've got the spec that describes the suite, and the test is it. And these are just closures, right? You've got scope that you can mess around with. They provide before and after. Why does it keep doing that? Okay, so you can, these are the assertions, right? So you can expect things to be equal, to be the same, and you can create custom matchers. There's a 2.0 that's coming out, and the syntax is changing slightly, but it's not real tough. And setup and tear down. That was the other thing that I wanted to talk about, right? So inside of a describe, you can say, do stuff beforehand and do stuff afterwards. And again, all of that's nestable. So you can set up your world in a global way, and then 3 layers deep alter some state, and that state will be altered just for the tests that are inside that scope. So it's pretty neat. All right, so that's Jasmine. Any questions? Beautiful. So the next thing that I wanted to show you is this cool thing called Testim. Have you guys heard of Testim? So Testim, one of the problems with JavaScript is like hooking into the browser and getting that into a nice tight feedback loop of a little bit of code, a little bit of validation, a little bit more code, a little bit of validation. And with browser work, it's like, what stack do you want to live in? Do you want to live in Safari or Chrome or Firefox or all of them? So Testim attempts to solve that problem. Let me see if I can make that look a little better. So what I have here is Testim running in on the left in developer mode, and it's got a web server that's running, and I'm going to have to bring this out of full screen. So over here I've got 3 browsers. One is Chrome, one is Firefox, one is Safari, whatever it is. And we're going to go to 57357. So I just logged in essentially to Testim, and then you'll see over here that it actually went and ran the test that I've got over on the right. If I go to the same location in Firefox, and I'll do the same thing over here. I'll log into Google. So now I've got 3 browsers captured, and I've got all 3 running. Sorry?
Were you tabbing in between this?
I was moving around, left arrow, right arrow. It's a sweet little ASCII interface. This is how we used to do it before you were born. Right, Paul? Everything I know, Paul taught me back there from Otter. So this is, it's actually Watcher-like for those of you that are Ruby folks. So if I change something over here, it reruns them. We lost Firefox somehow. But, oops. And so it's also running these in the browsers, right? So it's just making a connection, running and all of that stuff. So what you're actually seeing, if I blow one of these guys up, this is the Jasmine runner, right? You see it up there. So I didn't do anything special. I actually just created a directory over here. So like I'm in my place where I put crap. I created a directory named Testim, and then I created a little bit better there. I created a spec. I did nothing else other than install Testim, and it just has Jasmine. It figured out that it was Jasmine, and it went, right? So that's bottom line. You can do this shit without a whole lot of rocket science, so you should, right? It's really easy these days, and I think there's a lot of value in running automated tests, and there's a whole CI side to Testim, so you can hook it into your Jenkins or your TeamCity or your TFS Foundation, whatever the hell it is. Whatever you're using, you can hook it in. And so it's awesome. So I'd love to answer questions, but I probably don't know the answers. But thanks for the time. Yeah, Matt.
I want you to pin code retreat, so I'm going to ask a question.
Okay.
If I wanted to practice this for an entire day, how would I do that?
Wow, Matt, that's a really great question. Thanks for asking. You know, there's lots of ways that people can practice, but one of the best ways is to do it together as a group, right? Lots of things are done better together. And Code Retreat is a perfect way to do that. Are we doing a day of Code Retreat this year?
December 14th.
December?
Yes.
14th out in Iowa?
Iowa Western Community College.
Yes.
Everyone should come.
Yep, so it's a whole day of 45 minutes of solving the same problem over and over and over with different people, trying to test drive it. It's a ton of fun, and you should absolutely talk to Matt about signing up to do it. Thanks.